All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of to close out the week. So, without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes. And let's make sure that we participate and engage. If everybody can hear me loud and clear, let me know that you're here with me. Let me know my microphone is working. Drop me a one in the chat. Let me know that we are all good and ready to go on this beautiful Friday morning. All right. So let's make sure that we start out each and every morning taking massive action. As always, we want to make sure that we are accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing us for any outcome. Let's make sure that we center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, assuring a balanced approach to trading, and that we trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition at all times. Let's imagine our trade successfully materializing and that we are obeying our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed and fear. And let's make sure that we are never, ever looking back or stopping once our trades have commenced. All right, so let's jump out, take a look at the fundamentals on what is a busy Friday in regards to uh, the PMI data coming out in several areas across the globe. So here, Eurozone private sector growth disappoints. The HCOB, Eurozone Composite PMI, held steady at 50.2 in February, below expectations of 50.5, so just slightly under, right? Indicating only modest growth in private sector activity, right? While the services sector lost momentum, the manufacturing downturn eased, okay? Across major economies, Germany saw an acceleration in private sector expansion, whereas France experienced its sharpest contraction in over a year. And so we can see here on the Forex Factory that we've got all of the PMI data coming out today, major areas, right? Eurozone, the UK, well, so we've got the United States as well. We've got some core retail sales data coming out. Looked good for the UK month over month, right? The forecast was 0.4%, came in at 1.7, right? So they ended up in the green for retail sales. But again, the news of the day really is a bunch of PMI data that is coming out. We've got, like you said, the UK. UK's PMI missed the flash PMI 46.4. The projection for 48.5. The services PMI came in at 51.1, right? So pretty much right on par, right? So modest expansion there, but it missed on the manufacturing PMI. The CAD retail sales is expected at 830. So we'll see what that data comes out and looks like for Canada. As we've got, some good news from Canada in the sense that commodity prices are increasing, and being that Canada is an export economy, especially with commodities, that's decent for Canada. United States at 945, we got flash PMIs coming out for manufacturing and services. So that is really what's going on today. Um, Previously, uh, we had Bullock speak. Let me see if I had anything on that. Um, Let me see. Board committed to guided by incoming data involving assessment risk. Satisfied with inflation progress so far. Board remains cautious on the prospects of further easing, right? So they cut by 25 basis points. Uh, but they're pretty much, they have the same message as everybody else. They're remaining cautious going forward. While they're making progress on inflation, right? Not quite there yet, right? That continues to be the message from most of the central banks. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on that. Move back forward. And that is we've got existing home sales data. I know a lot of market participants are waiting on that today, and then the University of Michigan consumer sentiment, right? So some key data, right? PMI, right? Are the economies expanding? What are the purchasing managers doing? Retail sales, and then we got sentiment, right? So all key fundamental data that we like to take a look at. We're starting to see um, the dollar here over on the DXY starting to, right? So we've got a weekly decline, right? But we're coming into that 106 level, that weekly support level here. And right now, this morning, right, we've got, to start out, we've got a little bit of an uptick. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the PMI data coming out here in the United States this morning to see if that and the existing home sales to see how the dollar reacts to that data. But that's a previous day, right? Pretty strong bearish candle, and now we've got a bit of an uptick to retest that candle. So we will see that dollar has been tricky with the tariff situations. We know the Fed is in no hurry. To cut rates. We saw that from the FOMC meeting minutes, just giving further confirmation to what we already knew pretty much, that they're not really looking to cut rates anytime soon, and that they're going to stay data dependent. So uh, that dollar continues to be tricky. You know, right? Our daily stochastic is back in the buy zone. We'll see if we can get some continued upward momentum, right? So we'll stay data dependent as well as we see that it's been making lower lows and lower highs as of late. Uh, but maybe we've reached we found some support here. We'll see. We know one thing with the dollar, Fed's not looking to cut rates. So from an interest rate standpoint, you do have possible divergence, right? Where you got other central banks remaining cautious, but they seem to be a little bit more uh, in the driver's seat in regards to cutting rates further, whereas the United States seem to be on hold. So we'll see how that plays out. That dollar is a little bit tough right now, but we'll see. We'll look at some levels on some of the dollar crosses as well that we want to make sure that we're paying attention to there. Okay, so it's Friday, so right out the gate, we always like to see if there's anybody that has any pairs in particular that they want to take a look at before we get going with some of the things that I'm keeping an eye on. So if there's any pairs that you guys want to take a look at right out the gate, let me know in the chat, and we'll make sure we take a look at those first on this Friday morning. I know we covered a lot yesterday, so not too much this morning. But if you have some pairs that you want to look at, we'll definitely do it. Give you guys about a minute to do that, and then we'll move on. Just if there's not a lot, that's cool. Because like I said, we covered a lot yesterday. All right, so let's take a look at this UJ that Joy is requesting. And all right. It's been moving bearish. Um, I'm actually not trading any of the yen crosses right now, but I do have it marked up. We look here on the daily, and we've come right back to this level. So, it all matters if that dollar is finding support where it's at. That's been the question, right? The dollar seems like it's finding support, and then it continues to break lower. Just had a major bearish day yesterday, and we're seeing a little bit of uptick now. So do we hold at this 149.38, at least temporarily for a correction? We'll see. Now on my 4 hour, I do have it marked up um, where we had an 80-20 and we flipped to the downside. So follow the 4 hour fib, we're expecting that 1.618 the extension, which means it's not going to ultimately hold up. And we see it kind of turn over here now against that. So if you played this move short, right, that's been a huge move to the downside. And if we break through, right, what is this level here? Right, if we break through that 149.38, right, then we expect a 1.618 D extension to be hit. So Joy, which way are you playing it?
I'm out of it now. Um,
Okay.
I was interested because of the yields going down, whether or not they was gonna find supports.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And it's found some temporary support, but I think this might because of that the expectations of the talk coming out of the Bank of Japan in regards to further rate hikes. I think and I think that that'll continue to push it. And you know, um, what was that I was reading this morning in regards to um, so I like your point, and then uh DXY right here. So it remained on track for his third consecutive weekly decline as President Donald J. Trump's approach to tariffs has been less aggressive than feared. So the market's kind of shrugging some things off, right? We know we saw the S&P at record highs. Um, and so they're kind of like, all right, well, we don't seem too concerned about these tariffs. So you saw a drop off on in the dollar, as it relates to the fact that hey, he doesn't seem like he's going to be as aggressive as he was talking with these tariffs. So we saw some declines there. Again, we already talked about the Fed not being in a hurry to cut rates. But if we look at so retreat from level high after higher than expected inflation fears strengthen the case for hawkish outlook for the Bank of Japan, right? So we're seeing some yen strength as a result of the inflationary pressures, um, and that um, see here rising interest rates will help improve financial institutions' profits and emphasize that the central bank is prepared to respond swiftly to market shifts, including through market operations if abnormal moves occur, which means they can intervene. Additionally, the Bank of Japan board member Takeda noted on Wednesday that real interest rates remain deeply negative, suggested that the central bank may need to further adjust its policy and economic conditions to continue to evolve as expected. Right. So the anticipation of further rate hikes coming out of Japan uh, is is uh, is keeping that yen uh, fairly strong, right? Not extremely strong like when we see those crazy interventions, but there's some caution there, right? With that yen in regards to those potential rate hikes in the near future. So we could see this continue bearish at least to that extension. What's that 148.75? And then from there we may see a reversal. But right now that level is kind of holding, but it seems to be turned over. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Short term bearish, for sure. Right,
Okay,
that's the way
because
it's moving.
the other day on Bloomberg they was speaking as if like everything was already priced in for Japan, but it's like it was still showing strong moves. And then this morning when I was reading, they was talking about the yields falling. I'm like,
Yeah, it's so much, which is why I haven't. The 80/20 was nice, but I haven't even played that move to the downside. Like I've left uh mostly for the most part the yen crosses alone. Like there's just that Swissy yen play. I was looking at stuff on the euro yen, but I've kind of just left them alone, especially since I've been in some ETFs and things like that as of late. I haven't even messed with it like that. That yen, we know from the years of being in this group, that yen could be feast or famine, right? It could be a complete train wreck at times. So we'll see where this ends up. But with the yields, that is, I write that down so I can take a look at that because I didn't check that this morning. The yields. Uh, so we'll see how that goes. Hold on one second for me, everybody. All right, sorry about that. All right, so that's where we are on the dollar yen. We'll see if it'll finish out at that extension to break that 149.38 level, right? This is from a while ago where we had it marked up to where it took off from that level. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, is the Swissy. What do I have on this one here? Right. So it's been climbing. We're coming to 51.81. That's a monthly level there. So we'll see off that move. Here's the 4 hour, right? We've got a 382 pullback. Can we push through that level and continue? We'll see. 4 hour stochastic is in the sell zone, but this is that 1 hour target. So I still think we got a chance to make it there. I don't know why I don't have this on the man, oh man. There we go. So we've got to cut through there. So this long play has been pretty good. So we look forward to eventually break through that monthly level if we're running off and we're chasing that D extension there. So are you playing that long?
While I was waiting, I was looking at the daily because I had missed the move and
Okay.
waiting for that to break above the cloud.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Okay.
at the inside of the border of the cloud.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, mine's look different. I was looking at mine
Yours
on my
look.
NT. Yeah,
Oh yeah, empty. So it's got a little bit different.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
lag, I don't think the lag reached above. So I was looking to see if it was going to be a pullback first,
Okay. Okay.
or
Yeah, this was
if that would be the pullback right there. Now I'm looking at the chart.
maybe. Yeah, off that 50.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So the key, I mean, it's looking like when you look at that stochastic, it's looking like it's trying to make a higher low and trying to reverse out to get back long, you know. But we'll see if we can get above that 51.81. The Swissy pairs is something else. You notice how all of them, like, look at the candles, like the wicks coming off of them, off of and you see a lot of those Swiss crosses like that. It's Swiss franc is strange. In a way, I'll just leave it at that. But look at the candles and look at the wicks and it's, it could be a tough one to trade those crosses, but this move here, that 1 hour look has been pretty, for the most part, pretty clean off that U-turn, off that 61.8 level. So let's see if it hits that extension. That's one, two, three times now. It's tried to test that level. We'll see if it's got enough strength for a fourth attempt there. But that's been a pretty strong level on that one. All right. So that's that. Ryan, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, bro. Good morning, everybody. I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Glad to be here. How about yourself?
Oh man, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Any news or updates? Anything on your mind fundamentally?
Nothing right now, bro.
Yeah, it's a little like it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Trump's got everything tied up. It's like
Yeah,
it's
man.
like that's all everything's been about, right? So, but what else is new? Um, so we'll see what happens. But no, I figure there's not too much out there, right? We went over the PMI, data from earlier this morning. We've got some more data coming out for the U.S. existing home sales and things like that. That situation in DC is kind of crazy with the housing market. I don't know if you read up on that or not, but
No, I
uh,
haven't.
with all the job losses, man, seeing the decreases in home values, like in DC, with it already started to decline a bit, but with all the layoffs and stuff like that, man, all of the IRS workers across the country, but in DC, like they're taking a big hit in the real estate market right now. So because
Okay,
people are like,
okay.
hey, I gotta pack my bags. It's expensive to live here. I don't work for the government anymore. I gotta go. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how that
Okay.
how that how that plays out. Yeah, tough sledding right now, but it was all written. It was all they said what they were gonna do. Everybody knew it before the election, and it's playing out. It's playing
It's
out.
playing
So
out.
we'll get it. Hey, stock up or stock down. That's where I'm at right now. So we'll see what happens, man. Appreciate you.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you as well.
All right. Thank you, sir. 400K say they're pushing them out for Trump people to move in. Yeah, that was in Project 2025. That was everything that you're saying was it was hidden, was written. It was written in Project 2025. Had they had people, they had a database of people built that are pretty much Trump loyalists that they wanted to take those jobs. That's what they had. And so this massive purge, I don't know why everybody looked like they're getting hit with a haymaker they didn't see. Because they said this is what they were gonna do. So um that's that. So taking a look at, like I said, there were a couple of yen crosses that I was following. The Swissy yen, continuing to watch to see if it's gonna reverse. It's in a weird spot. May not stochastics worked its way all the way back up into the sell zone. Uh it's bouncing back and forth, right? But we see here where it came down and retest this zone again. We're back up above 166.85. We'll see. We'll see how this one shakes out. But that's where it's at, right? We got some momentum and then we came all the way back. So uh if you're following that one, we'll continue to watch and see how it plays out on the Swissy yen. The Euro Aussie, we were taking a look at yesterday on a 1 hour, looking for the possibility of a further decline. We drew it up right to that weekly level, and it is declining. So if you're playing that, let me take this diagram off. If you're playing that to the short side, right, it came right into that zone and it reversed. So I am still looking for this to move uh, bearish, right? So if you're playing that, right, we just got the trend line break there on that 1 hour play. So any type of pullbacks and continuations, right, we can look for a possible move to the downside. So I know 1 hour, 5 minute, kind of looking the same. It's already had to pull back. That's what I was looking for. We already had to pull back there. So that's a no-go. But from that 1 hour, uh, from your 1 hour chart, we've got a trend line break. So we're looking like we want to move south to that 162.81 area. So that was one from yesterday, where we were talking about how we made out both ways, 80-20 to the upside, 80-20 to the downside bearish, took out the A, and now we saw that pullback, right? We anticipated that pullback and that break. So continue to monitor that one. That could be a good one to the downside. Tune into the here, the 0 JPY. Okay. These are 1 hour plays, right? We're just breaking trend line there. Okay, so we got an 8.6 pullback, right? So if you're looking to get short on that one, okay, or if you're already short, right, stop above the A. We've got an A6 target there at 155.94. That continues to fall bearish. Right? That was just breaking trend line. Okay. If you're playing your cloud, there, we rejected it. We rejected, we held there, right? So that should be red. All right, we're breaking below that 50. Could be a good short opportunity on that euro yen. Any questions on the euro JPY? No? All right. Want to go back to the euro NZD. This one we've been tracking at 80-20. Was a long time running, but you can see, right? TP1 has been hit, right, on the euro NZD. Okay, so anybody's been sitting in that trade, we have made it all the way down to TP1, right? Very, very choppy. Hey, at times it does go above that zone, but this is the reason why we put that stop at that extension level right? At least I know I do. I know Ryan does, right? We don't try to play them too tight with the stop losses to increase that risk to reward. It's already favorable, not your high 3-to-1s and things like that, but it's a favorable counter trend trade move in regard to risk to reward. If you play that stop at the extension and let it just figure itself out. And you can see here that we've now hit TP1. We may hit that TP2 if we get through that monthly level. So just wanted to give a quick update on that. So if you took that, congratulations. That was a forever trade, but we've made it to the target. You had to go through a lot with that one. But over 240 pips. Right. So it was worth it. Euro USD. Oh, we got a hand raised. Let me 1 second. Beneath, yes, sir. It's an accident, maybe. Just maybe it was an accident. Okay. All right. The Euro USD, right? We see the dollar. We see that the dollar is bottoming out a little bit and made a bit of a U-turn this morning. A lot of back and forth with this, right? I don't know if the dollar is going to sustain that upward move that is showing right now today. But just from an interest rate perspective, I still favor the euro dollar short. And so it just continues to bounce around in range right now. But you can see we're at that 104.97 level. It keeps rejecting that level. So this is one of those long-term trades that I'm sitting in. And I want to see it continue to decline. Right. So we'll continue to watch it as it's retesting that level again. Right. So just wanted to give a quick update on that. So as long as it doesn't take out that A, it has no choice but to go our way. The risk is already figured out, 180 pips, whatever that represents, 0.25%, 0.5%, 1%. We already know, right, what we've got in the game for the euro dollar. So we'll continue to let that play out. Moving forward with the pound CAD. Still liking it, bullish, even though we're getting some positive, a bit more of a positive situation with the CAD as of late because of the export prices are increasing because everything that's going on. But this has officially broken the cloud. We'll see if we'll pull back. Look, 80-20 to the C to D swing. So we've got a 1.18 extension at 180.51. Why? Because we got an 8.6 retracement, right? Tested that daily support. We've been moving up ever since. So we look for any type of pullback and continuation on this. This is your 1 hour here. Beautiful cloud break, right? On your 1 hour. That's everything there. Beautiful U-turn. Didn't take out our A. Broke the cloud. We're above the 50 and the 200. Those are both pointed in the upward direction as of right now. We got a bullish cloud ahead, so we look for pullbacks and continuations, right? Pullbacks and continuations. Our lagging span, our Chico span is above price, right? Just you can see here. Our lagging span is above price. That's what we mean by that, right? When we talk about the cloud. Okay. Yeah, so that's that on the pound CAD. Pound dollar, I wanted to take a look at that. And right, it continued to climb, but we're definitely overbought. So we've made it to the 786 level. So we'll see, right? If we start to see declines, but that's going to depend on dollar strength. We know we've got the interest rate situation in our favor, but there's so many different variables right now with the dollar, which makes it tough. So we'll continue to watch it, right, to see if that dollar is going to at some point have a fundamental catalyst to strengthening. You know, maybe something breaks out and the dollar acts as a safe haven, not sure. But we know we've seen the declines as a result of, Trump backing off the tariff, not being as aggressive, but that could change tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Again, a little tough to trade that dollar right now, but we'll just continue to monitor the situation to see what happens. We know, right? We had a beautiful 80-20 here play out on the 4. It's now taking out all 3 take profit levels, took out the A. So we run the 5th to the upside. That's what we look like on the 4. We got an 80-20 zone right around 127.12, which is a daily resistance level. Maybe we'll see a reaction there. Maybe we'll see it now. But nonetheless, right, sitting pretty high in the zone. So we'll continue to monitor these dollar crosses. The NZD, USD. All right. Let's continue to push higher. We'll see, right? We're at a monthly level here, 57.69, right at that 50% level, right at the edge of the buy zone. So I am watching these dollar crosses very closely, right? Very closely as they continue to climb higher in the zones. Here we are on the 4-hour, this 80-20 play that finally reached TP1. Do we get to TP2? Right? We'll see. But that one worked out pretty good. Got some levels that it has to break through, right? Like we saw on the daily. We'll see, right? So just continue to track these. If you played the 80-20, great. But as it starts to push higher in the zone, we'll continue to watch the dollar, continue to watch the fundamentals to see what happens. All right. So that's the NZD, USD, this dollar CAD. We looked at it yesterday. Take a look at it again. We're still kind of just messing around, right? We got close to that extension. Can't make his mind up. Again, like I said, hey, I really wouldn't look to trade this now. If you're involved in it, right, it's getting close to your stop. But if you haven't been involved at 142.60 level, I'd like to see it break back above 142.60 before getting involved and taking it right to TP1 on this potential 80-20, right? So just moving sideways. 4-hour stochastic is back in the buy zone. Still waiting to see what happens with that. The dollar Swissy. Same thing, right? Kind of similar to that dollar CAD. Let's see what happens, right? You see how it's just hanging around there? So it's like, man, fundamentally, what could cause that dollar to strengthen again? Right? Because if it does, it's got some really good plays, right? Some really good plays with some of these dollar crosses. If we can get that dollar to find some support and move higher, right? So we pushed up 90.49, got close to that TP1, but didn't quite make it before we collapsed. So we'll see the 4-hour longer term move. We're still within that AB boundary. We'll see. Something's gonna happen, right? The way that these things are lining up technically. We'll continue to watch it. What else? Before we log out here, because it's not much. Like I said, we covered a lot yesterday. NVIDIA, we were looking at it from this 1-hour shot. It did make the U-turn off that 61.8 slightly. So we can see here where it tested that 61.8 level twice on this 1-hour. But we're kind of moving sideways. So we'll see if it wants to continue to get long. We saw that drop in Palantir yesterday.
Sorry, Ben. I was just gonna
Yep.
ask you to look at PLT because I wasn't on yesterday, unfortunately. I had a bit of an emergency. So yeah,
Okay.
Planeteer Technologies, that would be nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that for you from from Trading View, right? You had an emergency yesterday, so I hope everything's all right.
It's good.
All right, cool, cool. So here we are. So we had that situation. Just okay, what is let me go back. Look at technology balance here. So we had this oops. We had this sell-off uh on Palantir. So we missed our 80-20, then it collapsed for us, right?
Yeah.
So right, like we see all the time, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. But I know you've been you've been holding it long. So we
Long
just missed. So yeah, so I would continue to hold it. What happened which caused this is that what was the art? I was reading an article yesterday, and the head of Palantir is talking about um he was talking about Alex Karp, the CEO. He said he plans throughout 2025 to sell 1.2 billion of the stock. And so the the market, it was a swift sell-off as a result, right? So it was, what was that, 10% uh yesterday. So so what that tells you pretty much is that, the markets are concerned with the significance of such a large insider sell. Um, but you have to, one of the things that I have to do is just do a deeper dive, because they've got their last call, was amazing in regards to the clientele and the amount of business that they have and the demand that they have. Um, so an announcement of that, it could be just simply a part of financial planning,
Yeah.
and not really indicative of negative sentiments, because when you look at, that last forecast that they gave, and that last quarterly report, I mean, it looked amazing. So to me, the market reaction, I'm a big fan of continuing to buy the dip,
Yeah.
you know, on that is what I'm thinking. We knew it was due for a correction. My stop was just off because I placed it at the 618 on the 80-20 play. But we've gotten that correction. So I'm all for continuing to stay long on Palantir. I think that was just a short term um, market reaction, is just doing more research to to find out fundamentally, to get a better understanding of the reasons behind it. Um, I mean, when you always go right to the fundamentals, and like I said, the fundamentals look good. Um, and if you got a long-term portfolio and you're diversified, you're good anyway. So I like it over the long term.
Yeah.
I just think that was, yeah, I think that was just a
It's not
market
put me off.
reaction yesterday.
Yeah, I'm still holding in it. I went in for a short buy, and I'm holding on the long term because I know.
Yeah,
So that's what I did.
yeah, yeah. I like it. I like that idea. I like that idea.
Thanks, man.
So, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Appreciate your input on that. But yeah, that's where we are in Palantir. But that's what happened yesterday that caused it. So technically, we saw that it was due for a correction. And then again, right, that's why fundamentals and technicals matter.
Yeah.
What did you say to yourself is bullish? You know, we know technically it was in a zone for a correction. Hey, what would be the fundamental catalyst? And we got it. And sometimes you never know where that's gonna come from, right? Just like how we've been talking about the dollar this morning. Like, man, technically, a lot of these pairs are set up, for the dollar to get strong, but we don't know where that boost is going to come from quite yet. I don't know how much of a boost the PMI data give the dollar. It could come out bad anyway. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, still long overall for Palantir.
Thanks, man.
Indeed. You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions on that? Yep. All right. Well, that is all I have for this morning, right? Again, we covered a lot yesterday. I covered some this morning. We'll see with the rest of the PMI data that's due to come out today. We'll take a look at it again. The rest of the fundamental schedule, right? 8:30. We've got numbers for Canada retail sales, U.S. dollar, PMI, uh, manufacturing services PMI, and manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. We've got existing home sales and University of Michigan consumer sentiment. We also have Bank of Canada Governor Macron speaking today as well. That'll be interesting after the retail sales data comes out. So pretty busy Friday. You see a lot of red folders that have already been running all through the morning. So that is that. Tomorrow morning, will not be on for the weekly ritual tomorrow morning, as we got a ton of events going on tomorrow morning. So I want to let everybody know that now. We'll put something else out in the community as well. But as always with those situations, if anything is found over the weekend, we'll make sure we get it posted to the community. Ryan, anything before we wrap up, sir?
No, sir. Great session. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys, everybody.
All right. So with that being said, everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And always remember, right? Don't just count your pips, but indeed count your blessings. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.